Hey Team FXG, starting on the monthly as usual, pound Kiwi, okay? We identified our upper monthly and our lower monthly zones by looking for horizontal buy and horizontal sell sensitivity. So what information can we take from the monthly? Well, other than this crazy movement here in the middle, it holds true that throughout time, okay, sellers do come in at our upper monthly zone and buyers come in and push at our lower monthly zone, meaning that this is our play field, okay? We know that we will see sell support, we will see buy support. Onto the weekly, we identified our weekly upper and lower zones by simply looking for horizontal sell and buy sensitivity. Now, before talking about the weekly analysis, the first thing that comes to my mind is how similar it looks to the monthly with the large crazy movement in the middle. So that's really interesting. Okay, so let's gather information that the weekly is telling us, okay? Price touched our monthly upper zone. We see sell pressure as expected. It's our monthly upper zone. We know that there's going to be sell orders, okay? Strong push to the downside to test our buyers at our lower monthly zone. Buyers came through with buy pressure. That's expected. This is our play field, okay? We know price is going to be playing in between this area, okay? And here's what I noticed. Here's what's interesting. Here we see a push to the upside, and usually the first push off a monthly touch is an impulse move. Usually we'll see price come back and retest that monthly before then coming in, if buyers come in with the second wave. This is called a double confirmation, but we don't see that. What do we see? We see price continue to the upside, break right through our weekly lower zone. What's this telling us? Well, there's a lot of buy pressure. So this to our weekly upper zone is considered a push. So we have a strong push off our monthly, breaking right through our weekly lower and testing our weekly upper, and it's having a hard time breaking this weekly upper due to the amount of pin bar closes. That's buyers testing the upside, trying to break to the upside, and sellers keeping price to the downside. So what do we know? Well, we know that after a push, there's always an exhaustion, and price is tired. It broke right through the weekly lower. It seems tired, at least at the weekly upper, so we can expect, or something we need to prepare for, is the beginning of an exhaustion. Let's take it down to the daily for a closer look. Onto the daily, here's this push to the upside that we identified at the weekly. Here's price trying to break to the upside, and just different waves and different strengths of sell orders entering the market. Now, as mentioned previously, we have to prepare for an exhaustion. We didn't see the double touch at the monthly or the double confirmation. It broke right through our weekly lower. It's tired here at the weekly upper. This would be a perfect place for an exhaustion to begin. But do we enter short just because we believe it? No, we need some confirmations. So what do? We identify area of sensitivity. So here we can see higher lows, which means we identified an uptrend. Now, why is it important that we identified this uptrend? The reason why is because we know that price has been respecting this uptrend, meaning that there's been buy orders at every touch. So that means if price manages to break this uptrend to the downside, sellers have gained strength, meaning that buyers are exhausted. Rightfully so. It made a long journey to the upside. It makes sense that buyers will eventually be exhausted. So the confirmation would be if price breaks this uptrend to the downside. So we must stay patient and wait for price to break this uptrend to the downside. That's considered a push, a broken area of sensitivity. We then stay patient, wait for exhaustion to complete, and we enter at price action confirmation to the downside. This is preferably a bearish engulfing candle or a significant pin bar, and we'll only see that sell pressure at either a retest of this uptrend or at our weekly upper zone. Now, what would make this trade invalid? Very simple. If price fails to break this uptrend to the downside and instead breaks to the upside, this trade becomes invalid, and then we start looking for an entry long from our weekly upper to our monthly upper, and we adjust.